Welcome to a healthy living video blog at workoutmaster.com. This is Ruben.
That's Aram.
Today we're going to talk about change, and as Ruben mentioned, change is the only constant.
That's right.
Some smart person said it.
I can't remember who that person was, but if you do, let us know.
We're probably not that smart anyway. Let's tear this one apart.
Why is change so important?
The reason why we want to talk about change is I consistently see people come in my office sitting down to talk about food, and they say, I ask them what the goals are, and generally goals has something to do with their energy regulation, so they generally is low energy or tired, and they generally want to lose some weight. A lot of people have some sort of disease, and when I ask him, I was like, okay, let's talk about food, let's see, you know, what do you eat? And then pretty much, I would say 99% of people say, oh, my food is good. I eat good. My diet is excellent.
I eat healthy.
I eat healthy.
I eat salads every day.
And it always amazes me how much we dislike to change. We do want to get something that serves some sort of purpose for us, but in many cases we are extremely scared of change. And that's why exactly why I want to talk today about it, because our previous episode was about paying attention to how you feel. So if you feel that it's not working for you, then you definitely have to change.
Absolutely. And those changes, they have to be follow some type of an order, so you don't go from one extreme to the other, and there's some type of a cohesive, you know, follow through with things.
People have a lot of times pre-installed notion or pre-installed idea of what they're going to do. So we believe in certain theories, certain philosophies, concepts, whatever it is. You know, it could be a religious concept or it could be a nutritional concept. And we get so involved in that particular principle that in many cases we don't look outside. But what I find, even in my practice, for years I've been doing one thing, then for another years I've been doing something else. And I find myself right now, in this particular moment, changing into something completely different. Now, the reason why I'm doing it is definitely not because I'm, you know, less scared than before in my life. I'm definitely scared of changing, but I understand the benefits that it can bring to my life.
So you're saying that you're not doing it because it's a trend?
Yes, definitely not because of the trend. I find myself being more realistic when, let's say, when I even started with nutrition. Some things were working for me, some things were not working for me. Some things worked for my clients. You know, let's say, for example, 40% of what I told my clients worked for them, another 60% of my clients didn't benefit.
That's correct.
So then I changed it and I find myself helping 60% of my clients, 40% were not getting results.
Correct.
Now, let's say right now we get like 80% of clients getting results, 20 not. But what, like, am I going to get satisfied with that number, or am I going to start looking for a new solution, even though that might actually somehow interfere with what I believed in before?
That is correct, and that's a good thing, because when you're making those changes that you oftentimes might feel that you're very attached emotionally and physically to them, that's just the experience of growth. And growth has some pains. They're called growing pains. And it's a matter of kind of, you know, getting rid of the mask and realizing that oftentimes change has to make because it's the only constant, and change has to make because your body's asking you for it. So going back to the previous episode when we, you know, ask you how do you feel, well, who's better to tell you the answers about how you should be feeling than yourself?
Absolutely. And if you start changing, if you change it, let's say you hire a professional to help you eat better. They tell you don't eat bread, for example. And most of the time I hear, oh, no, not my bread, not my wine, not my bread, not this, not that. That a lot of times there's an emotional connection to that particular food.
And the same, we're talking about food and wine. We could be talking about anything specific that we do. Like, for example, let's say, you know, well, instead of working out six days a week, I need you to work out only 3 times a week.
Yeah, same thing. Or play soccer, don't play soccer. Play tennis, don't play tennis.
Especially if you have an injury.
Absolutely.
Or you're actually creating some sort of a repetitive pattern that will lead into an injury or lesion that will put you out of commission for a while. So it's very important that you do not, or that you realize, first of all, of course, more important than nothing, realize what kind of emotional attachments do you have to a philosophy, to a theory, to an idea, to a thought. It's very important that you do that.
Then if you have a flexibility of mind,
Yes.
you start changing a little bit.
Right.
And if it takes you closer to where you needed to go,
The bingo.
that should light up a light in a human brain.
Oftentimes it does, but oftentimes what happens is that in the process of making those changes, fear gets the best of you and it knocks you right back to your own perception of reality, which is, stay within the box, don't think outside the box, follow, the leader of what told you what to do. And one thing that I was told by my great master, teacher, guru, and dear friend, Paul Chek, he told me, challenge everything, even what I tell you. And I have.
Yeah. I think it's even important to challenge yourself to achieve something absolutely new to.
We often find levels of comfort within our lives that we dare not to rattle. And like in the words of John Macmillan, he's here to perturb the ones that are, nice and quiet, and to quiet down the ones that are perturbed. So it's very important to you realize that whatever your body needs is going to be a change for sure. And that you do it in a methodic way, that you don't actually shift from left to right too fast, because that can lead to a lot of confusion. But once you do things on a very paced and rational manner, you can begin to take note of the new changes that happen, and that in itself creates the feedback mechanism to tell you whether you are right or the wrong track.
So one of the important things you can do is you can start paying attention again to how you feel according to your changes. And if you're feeling better and it's consistent, chances are you're doing something right. And who is there to tell you otherwise?
Absolutely. You have a problem with what I just tell you? We challenge you to challenge us on what we say. There you go. How's that for
all right, guys. Remember, changing is scary, but it is good. And people that don't change usually suffer the most.
Because they don't grow.
Because they don't grow. I would absolutely agree. Did you want to add anything to this?
That's enough.
Alright guys, change and your future gonna look a whole lot better already. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next time.
Take care.